Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. What happens when one of China's most beloved on-screen couples steps out of fiction and into real life? This isn't a scene from a drama. This is real. Chen Zheyuan just embraced and kissed Zhao Lusi in front of a crowd, and the internet can't handle it. What we're about to reveal will make your heart skip a beat. Stay with us. At a prestigious gala evening in Shanghai, where flashing cameras and designer gowns usually dominate the attention, something far more intimate stole the spotlight. Amid a sea of celebrities and flashing lights, Chen Zheyuan and Zhao Lusi arrived, elegant, composed, and unusually in sync. Their matching outfits, him in a deep navy suit, her in an elegant cream-tone dress, were not merely coincidental. From the moment they stepped onto the red carpet, a different kind of energy surrounded them. There was something unspoken in the way they walked side by side, exchanged glances and smiled at each other, not just for the cameras, but with quiet understanding. Then, in a moment that would become the talk of international fan circles, Chen Zheyuan reached out from behind Zhao Lusi and gently embraced her. He leaned forward and pressed a soft, affectionate kiss on her forehead. It was not dramatic or exaggerated. It was gentle, real, human. For a brief second, the noise of the event seemed to fade. There was no performance, no script, just emotion. Zhao Lusi's eyes widened slightly, then softened. She didn't step away. Instead, she responded with a look of calm recognition, of closeness that words couldn't define. What made the moment unforgettable wasn't just the act itself, but its sincerity. It wasn't meant for publicity, and that was exactly why it mattered. It was the kind of quiet gesture that speaks volumes, especially in an industry where genuine emotions are often hidden behind smiles and stage lights. That single kiss reminded fans everywhere that love, in its most honest form, doesn't need to shout. Sometimes it only needs a moment. The moment Chen Zheyuan embraced Zhao Lusi wasn't just captured by cameras. It ignited a wave of emotion that rippled across the internet in ways few could have predicted. Within minutes, social media platforms were flooded with reactions. Fans from across the globe, spanning cultures, languages, and generations, found themselves united in a shared emotional experience. It wasn't merely about celebrity gossip. It was about witnessing something unexpectedly human in the lives of two people, so often seen only through the lens of perfection and performance. What unfolded online was more than just virality. It was a collective moment of connection. In Korea, fans compared the gesture to a scene straight out of a romantic drama. In Japan, the moment was described as cinematic, deeply moving in its simplicity. In the United States and Canada, entertainment commentators reflected on the quiet power of the act, how something so small could carry so much meaning. French fans called it un preuve d'amour sincere, a proof of sincere love. From Thailand to the Philippines, from Singapore to Australia, people weren't just sharing the clip. They were talking about what it made them feel. Many admitted they had watched the video over and over, unable to look away. Some confessed it brought tears to their eyes. Others spoke of how rare it is to see genuine tenderness so publicly expressed in the entertainment industry, especially in cultures where discretion often defines celebrity relationships. What made this digital eruption different was not just the speed at which the video spread, but the emotion it carried with it. It didn't feel manufactured. It felt like something real had pierced through the noise of the online world, leaving people not just entertained but moved. And for a brief time, millions of strangers felt something together. The quiet power of authentic affection. In a world where love is often shouted from rooftops or meticulously curated for likes and validation, Chen Zheyuan and Zhao Lusi reminded us of a quieter kind of love, one that doesn't need grand declarations to be deeply felt. Their interaction that evening wasn't accompanied by speeches or flashy gestures. It was tender, almost whispered, like a private conversation held in the open. And somehow that silence spoke louder than words ever could. What moved people wasn't just the physical act of a hug or a kiss on the forehead, but the authenticity behind it. There was no performance in Chen's gentle approach, no script in Zhao's soft smile and barely concealed emotion. For those watching, especially longtime fans who had followed their journey both on and off screen, the moment felt like a quiet confirmation of something long suspected, that what existed between them was real, and it mattered. Their silence, far from being distant or ambiguous, became a powerful statement in itself. When Chen later responded to questions with a simple, "If someone is important to you, you won't hesitate to show it," it only deepened the resonance. He didn't explain. He didn't deny. He allowed that one sentence full of intention and emotion to stand on its own. Zhao in turn revealed a sense of emotional release, saying she felt relieved, a word that carries years of restraint and quiet endurance. Together they created a moment not just of romance, but of emotional truth, the kind of truth that doesn't need to be shouted. Sometimes the purest expressions of love are the ones left unspoken, carried in a look, a gesture, or the gentle silence between two hearts that finally have nothing left to hide. Long before that unforgettable public embrace, there were signs, small quiet clues scattered like breadcrumbs through the months. For those who had been watching closely, the truth was always gently unfolding in the details. Hidden in glances exchanged at press conferences, subtle hand touches during interviews, and lingering smiles behind the scenes, Chen Zheyuan and Zhao Lusi had been telling a story of closeness far deeper than the scripts they performed. It wasn't just fan speculation. It was an invisible thread of connection that wove itself through their every shared moment. Backstage videos showed them laughing in unguarded moments, sharing private jokes that required no explanation. In social media posts, fans noticed synchronized photo uploads, shared color palettes and outfits, and matching captions that seemed almost too coincidental. And then there were the candid street photos, taken quietly, often at night, where the two were seen walking side by side, faces half hidden but body language open, unafraid of the world, only focused on each other. Each gesture was small on its own, an umbrella held over one's head, a car door opened, a quick glance of concern during a crowded event. But together, they painted a picture of a bond that existed long before it was officially acknowledged. It wasn't for cameras. It wasn't for headlines. It was a relationship that respected its own pace, that valued authenticity over spectacle. These subtle moments meant everything to fans who had learned to read between the lines. They knew love, when real, doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it lives in the quietest spaces, in the acts of care, the unspoken understanding, and the kind of companionship that speaks without words. And in these unseen gestures, a deeper truth was always waiting to be seen. What unfolded between Chen Zheyuan and Zhao Lusi is more than just a love story. It is a reflection of something profoundly human. The desire to be seen, to be understood, and to love freely in a world that so often demands performance. Their journey, marked not by grand confessions but by quiet truths, resonated deeply with audiences not because of fame or fantasy, but because it mirrored real emotional journeys that people everywhere live through. Hopes held in silence, feelings guarded carefully, moments of vulnerability revealed only when the heart is ready. Their story reaches beyond romance. It speaks to the courage it takes to open up after years of hiding, the quiet strength required to protect something precious from the world's noise, and the joy of finally letting go of restraint to simply live honestly. In a world of curated images and fleeting trends, the sincerity of their connection offered something rare. A moment that felt lasting, grounded, and pure. Fans didn't just cheer for the couple, they saw themselves in the story. They remembered their own hidden affections, the people they once loved from a distance, the relationships that bloomed quietly outside the spotlight. This wasn't about celebrity anymore. It became a shared emotional experience, one that reminded people that love, in its truest form, doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be real. Chen and Zhao's story then is not just a headline. It's a symbol of emotional bravery. It is a reminder that love doesn't have to be loud to be strong, and that sometimes the most powerful connections are those nurtured quietly, until they are ready to bloom in the light. It's a narrative of tenderness, trust, and the beautiful strength found in quiet devotion. Will they go public officially? Will we see a statement, or maybe even a surprise wedding one day? Whatever happens, this moment has already gone down in entertainment history. And for millions of fans across the globe, it's not just gossip, it's hope. Hope that love, even in the spotlight, can be real, warm, and fearless. If this story made your heart flutter even a little, you're not alone. Backhand index pointing right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next exclusive update on your favorite stars. Speech balloon and let us know in the comments. Do you believe Chen and Lusi are finally official? Red heart. Thank you for watching and being part of our global fan family. Until next time, keep loving, keep dreaming, and keep believing.